Alright, now we're going to get to inverse functions with some derivatives. So if we let f be a function that is differentiable on an open interval, if f has that inverse function g, right, then g is differentiable at any x for which the f prime of g of x does not equal 0, and thus g prime is equal to 1 over f prime times g of x. So because g is the inverse of f, that's what we get, right? And so let's figure out a proof for kind of this piece here. So let's scroll down. Okay, so if I want to find the derivative of f of g of x when it's equal to x. So I want to make sure that I do this, right? So this left-hand side is the chain rule. It's the f prime of g times g prime is equal to 1, right? The derivative on both sides. Okay, I divide, so I get g prime of x is equal to, g prime of x is equal to 1 over f prime of g of x. But really, what is g of x? Okay, that's f inverse, right? So f inverse of x is equal to g of x. So g prime of x, or f inverse prime, the derivative of the inverse, okay, is equal to 1 over f prime of f inverse of x. All right, so let's figure out how to actually apply that nonsense to a problem. So let's go back to this problem here. For example 1, let f of x equals 2x plus 5 and find the inverse, the derivative of the inverse at 9. So we need a couple things. So f of x, since we know we're finding it at 9 here, that's really our y value of the original function, okay? And if it's f inverse of x, we know that's the x value of the function. So we don't know what the actual x is here or the y is there. We have to find that out, okay? So I'm going to take 9 is equal to 2x plus 5. I'm going to get x is equal to 2. So we know that this is 2 comma 9, and we know this is 9 comma 2. So that works out pretty nicely, right? We can plug that in and figure out that mess. If I take the derivative of x, I get just 2. Thus, the prime, I want to find f, the derivative of f at 2, well, that's equal to 2, right? So the x is 2, okay? That goes there. Because there's no variables there, that's just going to be a solid number 2 anytime. And so the inverse derivative at 9 is equal to 1 over the derivative of 2, which is equal to 1 over 2, okay? Which is equal to 1 over 2. Fantastic. So that was pretty easy. That was way too easy, probably a little bit, right? This one's going to be a little harder. So I want to find the inverse derivative at 3, and let's find this out. So I got f of x, that's equal to something, comma 3. I have f inverse of x, that's equal to 3 comma something. Okay, let's figure out what that something is. I'm going to set the y equal to 3, so 3 is equal to 1/4 times x to the third plus x minus 1. I'm going to bring that over, so I get 4 equals 1/4 x to the 3 plus x. Multiply everything by 4. I get 16 equals x to the 3 plus 4x. And therefore, let's see, I get x to the 3 plus 4x minus 16 equals 0. If you solve this on your graphing calculator, okay, if you plug, or even here, you plug this into y2, this into y1, find out where they touch, you're going to get something in the form of x is equal to 2, okay? That's where they should touch. I believe it shouldn't even cross that point. I think it's more like a, like it kind of touches it and it goes back up, or touches it and goes back down. But you're going to get x equals 2. Okay, that's gonna be your value there. All right, so therefore, I get 2 comma 3 is my f of x, and 3 comma 2 is my f inverse. All right, I got to find the derivative of f. So let's go back now and find the derivative of f. I get 3/4 times x squared plus 1. So there's your derivative. I need to plug in the value at 2, right? F inverse of 2, I'm sorry, F prime of 2 is equal to 3/4 times 2 to the 2, which is 4, plus 1, which is 3 plus 1, which is 4. So F prime of 2, which is 4, okay? And my F inverse prime of 3 is equal to 1 over F prime of 2, which is equal to 1 over 4, and I am done for that one. Let's go on to the last one, and we'll call this video done. Ooh, we got a table here. Fantastic. I want to find the inverse derivative at 6, okay? So what do we know? We know that f of x is equal to something comma 6, and f inverse of x is equal to 6 comma something, okay? So if what else do I know? Well, if I know that the inverse is 6, okay, and it's 6 comma something, so I know this is going to be a 2, right? So here we got a 2, and therefore I get a 2 comma 6, right? So this is f of x is 2, x is 2, f of x is 6. So there we go. That's our points. And so then what's the derivative at 2? Well, the derivative at 2 is equal to 4, because that's what it says right there. Okay. And f inverse derivative at 6 is equal to 1 over f prime at 2, f prime of 2, which is equal to 1 over 4. Right? F prime of 2 is 4, so I get 1 over 4 as well on that one. Okay. All right, that's it for this one. Let's go on to the next one, but so deuces.